We are with our friend Teddy Flener Jr. Teddy, your buddy Jason was in a photo yesterday. I got to show you. So this is our photographer, John Summers, took this photograph. And at first impression, it looks like you and Jason are baseball coaches arguing about whether a runner is safe at third base or something. And Jason's saying safe, and you're going out. I don't know what's happening here. What do you think is happening here?
Jason got a straight in on a parallel park and got really excited about it. We was all checking to make sure everything was right. And he was the first one out of us three to pull into a parallel parking straight.
All right. And you get a little gold star for that? What do you get?
I guess bragging rights, you could say.
He didn't get to take the truck home for the day or anything like that?
No, he didn't. He was upset about that, though, that he couldn't.
So he's excited. You look like you're fairly excited. Wayne's standing there like he could be anywhere in the planet. Wayne's pretty mellow, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Wayne's a mellow guy. He's laid back.
All right. Speaking of things that maybe weren't mellow or laid back, tell us what happened the other day when you and Joey were in a truck that wouldn't start.
We was in a truck heading out to Bardstown. We stopped at a truck stop, 105 truck stop out in Bardstown, Kentucky. And we pulled in. We was taking a break, like a 10 to 15-minute break with the instructor, Jimmy. And we turned the truck off, went inside, used the restroom, got us a little snack to eat on, and we come back out to start the truck to get ready to leave, and it's just clicking. Ended up having to sit there for an hour and a half. We had a starter problem, and we had a guy from the store that tried to jump it for us in his regular small cab truck, and it wasn't giving enough juice, I guess, to the truck. And the jumping, I guess, really didn't have an effect towards it anyways, but Bob came out there in his truck, his personal truck, came out there and brought some hand tools with him, and we beat on the starter a little bit, and voila, bam, it started right back up.
So Bob is not only a classroom instructor and a driving instructor, he's also a mechanic.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing when it comes to them big trucks.
Yeah, and I think he's also an ex-Marine, so I probably don't want to mess with him too much.
And an ex-cop. I'm not going to mess with him at all.
How did the three, you and Jimmy and Joey, handle the situation?
Well, we were asked to go back, if we wanted to go back with the rest of the students. And me and Joey decided to stay back with Jimmy so he wasn't there by himself. Well, we got to talking, got to knowing each other and all that, which I already knew Joey. I didn't know Jimmy until after we had a conversation about him graduating high school with my uncle, and which his name's Jerry Flener. And now Jimmy's going to know a little bit about me now, so I guess down the road or for the rest of the class, if I ever get a hold with Jimmy, then I'll probably get some pep talk.
Too bad that Jimmy couldn't be your instructor on the exam on the 14th or 15th, huh?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
So your uncle, Jerry, did Jimmy rat him out for anything silly he did in high school, like fall out of a chair, fall asleep during class, hit on a girl didn't want to be hit on? Nothing good?
No, I guess everything between them, I guess they were good friends. I didn't really get into all the detail on about how their friendship was back in high school, but Jimmy said, that my uncle was a great guy. I let my uncle know that what Jimmy said. They both said hello to each other. I guess, they got a good friendship. They've known each other since high school, so.
And your uncle also played quarterback at Bullitt, right?
Yeah, he played quarterback at Bullitt Central back in 87. He graduated in 87.
So when, did Jimmy know when he saw your name? Did he follow his high school ever since high school and he knew you'd play quarterback there?
I'm not sure if Jimmy knew that or not. I don't know if Jimmy was that well into sports or not, but he knows that my uncle had always talked about football. Every time my uncle was around, it was football, 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 football. So I guess that's how Jimmy had the impression, hey, he's seen my name on the paperwork. He was like, "Are you related to Jerry Flener?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my uncle."
Have you seen film of your uncle playing quarterback?
Yes, I have, and he was an outstanding quarterback.
Who was better, the uncle or the nephew?
My uncle was way better than I was. I was quicker. I was quicker than him, but he only played quarterback. See, I played quarterback most of the time, and then I was like the athlete of the team. Like I would go to play wide receiver, I would go to play running back, On defense, I played cornerback, safety. So I was pretty much all over the field.
What's Bullet Central's nickname?
Bullet Central Cougars.
Cougars. Your Wildcats, your UK Wildcats, start out on tomorrow against Southern Miss at home. I know that it's Lexington's not exactly next door to Louisville. You're going to be able to go?
No, I'm not going to be able to go, unfortunately. My little nephew's having a birthday party at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to try and work tomorrow morning, until about 2 o'clock to have some extra cash in my pocket throughout the week. Since CDL training is, you don't get paid to do it for 17 days.
Right. So you're doing the electrical work?
Actually, I'm going to help out a buddy of mine do some landscape and some yard work.
You know, Ryan Strange is pretty good at that. You might want to get some tips.
Yeah. We talked earlier this morning about that.
And speaking of Ryan, did he and Russell come in talking trash after the U of L game last night because they won real big?
No, actually, I came in this morning and I seen that, Ryan's always wearing a Louisville shirt. He always supports his team. I came in, I said, wow, what a blowout it was last night. I said they were on the verge of beating Charlotte 112-0. It ended up being like 70-something to, I'm not for sure what the final score was. I know it was 70-something.
Do the UK and U of L play this year in football?
Yeah, they do. I think I don't know if it's in November of this year. I think it's in November of this year.
But being a UK fan,
November 5th.
What matters is hoops, not football.
I don't really follow football that much.
Right.
I mean, I do like Kentucky football, but when it comes to basketball, I'm a diehard, UK basketball fan.
And we know when those two teams play, even though the game's in Louisville in December, we know who's going to win, right?
Yeah, it's always Kentucky. We're always on top. We come in ranked number one, got the number one recruiting class every year.
Speaking of coming in, some recruiters have come into the school over the last couple of weeks. Anybody make an impression on you, Teddy?
We had a few recruiters cancel out, I think, to extend because they couldn't make it here on time. But McElroy, I had a real good connection or type vibe with them. Actually explained everything to us. It's a flatbed company. They base it off 500-mile radius in Louisville, Kentucky. So pretty much you're only going to be as far as 11 hours, away from home.
So that sounds like a pretty good deal then, huh?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's good too with being that close to home because I got a son that's getting ready to be 1. I got a girlfriend going on 2.5 years, and it's close to be by that family. My dad, which is a big person that I look up to. He's always been there for me through life, and if I had ups and downs or whatnot, it's my dad was always there. He was that number one person that I could turn to. So I don't know if I'm not sure or not yet to go over the road because I'm a family person. So I kind of feel like I want to be home on the weekends in order to continue to see family.
And your dad would be Teddy Flener Sr., correct?
Yes, sir.
What's he do?
He was a window tinner for, I think it was Sunshield window tinning, and he had recently had back surgery and ended up causing him not being able to work. So now that he's disabled now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine.
How's the driving experience been for you, Teddy? Because some people, Jason and Joey and I guess Anna, had driven big commercial vehicles or some kind of commercial vehicle. You haven't done that. What's that been like?
It was rough the first couple of days, out there trying to get used to everything. Well, preferably this week, Monday was the first day we actually got onto the interstate in the big Kenworth trucks. And it's a whole lot different than out there being on the range and, the single axle trucks. It's just that there's a big difference. I like coming in Monday, my nerves were shook up again and whatnot. And, I had some trouble with my shifting and all that. But, today was the best day that I probably had. Instructor Ed, he showed me a way to downshift at a proper speed and at RPMs, and the gear was just falling in there smooth. There was no grinding. There was some grinding. Sometimes I would mess up and get my gears mixed up. But since from yesterday, I had trouble with downshifting, and today everything came in real smooth. My upshifting was smooth. My turns were smooth. My downshifting was smooth. Today was probably the best day as far as driving a truck since
Well,
I've been here.
that's got to be a good way to go into a holiday weekend, huh?
Oh yeah, you feel more confident after you get everything down, and you get the bad stuff, the mistakes out of the way. You feel more confident, and you go into the weekend. And you're just like, finally, I can get a break here.
Now, Teddy, you're the youngest person in the class. I imagine you may not have had a lot of experience driving a stick shift. So is that part, learning the clutch and shifting gears, been hard for you, or had you driven something besides an automatic before?
I have driven a 5-speed car, a 5-speed truck, but it's a whole lot different coming into a big rig. You got an 8-speed transmission that we're currently working on, and then you have your 13 speeds or whatnot and above. Well, it's completely different, in a car or a smaller truck that is in a manual transmission. Reverse is usually all the way to the right and down. In these big rigs, it's all the way to the left in the neutral position and up. So yeah, it's a lot of different. You got a button that you have to push up in order to go into a high gear, and it's just the main thing is to study that gear, study them gears, and you get that gear pattern down, and it's just like hey, you get into a car now, and you go to drive, and it might play with you for a little bit, but you'll get to the hang of it to where you'll get back into the rhythm of finding that gear shift in a truck.
Most people from the outside probably think a CDL permit is all about driving, but there's pre-trip, which
Right.
we both learned now is a huge thing. The senior class all messed up they didn't pass their test because they didn't do pre-trip properly. You had an issue last week with the written test. Did what happened with them in the pre-trip kind of scare you straight about how important it's going to be for that in 2 weeks?
I mean, it made me a little nervous, because them guys have been here, for them 17 days pretty much already, and then when they went down there and they took their test, and most of them had trouble with the pre-trip, wording was wrong, and may not have been exactly how it was written, and it gets to my nerves. I mean, when I go down there, you're going to be sitting in a vehicle with a state trooper, so of course, your nerves are going to be up a little bit, but it's better to be calm, relax, do things that you was taught, do the proper things, and then it comes into pre-trip before you get into your vehicle, or before you start driving the vehicle. There's a lot of things that you have to know about this truck that they can easily fail you. If one little slip up happens, it's a fail, or you get a point system, and if you get so many points you'll fail, then you have to reschedule a test that could take up to 3 weeks, and then have to go down there and retake it again.
So it's about 12 days, I guess, is when your exam is. Could you pass it right now, or you think you need some more time?
I think I need some more time right now on my pre-trip. As far as my driving, I feel a little bit comfortable with my driving, and I feel comfortable somewhat with my parallel parking and my offsets and my straight backs. But that pre-trip, I really need to study on that pre-trip and that 4-point brake.
Well, maybe you need Jason to instruct you on the parking piece. Before I let you go, Teddy, you mentioned Ed earlier. I talked to Ed yesterday. He drove for 42 years, 6.5 million miles, and the only thing that really happened to him with a truck was he once lost his left mirror. Can you imagine at 25 driving 42 years and never really having a problem at 6.5 million miles?
That would be pretty amazing. It's not only it's not just you that's out there. It's other people as well that don't pay attention. A lot of people text and drive nowadays. When you're in a big rig, that phone needs to be put away while you're driving. You can understand with maybe a Bluetooth headset or whatever, you can answer a call just by touching, your ear. But as far as, being on your phone and stuff that causes most accidents nowadays, plus with rollovers and big rigs, it's not only just you that makes the accident. It's other people not paying attention. But, for me, in 42 years, of not having, just a mirror breaking off your window, off your truck, that's pretty amazing. And especially to have, 42 years in and 6.5 million miles, that's quite a bit of time around the world right there.
The times you've been in the truck so far, have you seen any drivers, like passenger cars, do something real stupid, like trying to cut the truck off? and now you maybe have more appreciation for what truck drivers have to go through on 65?
Oh yeah, I was in it. As a matter of fact, today somebody pulled out in front of me. Got me a little nervous because my first reaction was to hit the brakes. You just barely put your foot on them brakes. You don't want that truck to burn them tires and spin out into a jackknife position. But things happen like that, so you got to be aware. That's why they say keep your vision. Check both your mirrors, make sure everything's working properly, and keep that distance ahead.
Grayson, your son, turns 1 next week. Is the party this weekend?
Yeah, we're having it on September 10th.
Oh, the following weekend.
Uh-huh.
This is a special birthday for Grayson. There are a couple reasons why. Number one, it's the last birthday. He's not going to be able to tell you guys what he wants.
I know.
Two, they say your first birthday and your last birthday are the same because there are a bunch of people there and they're singing to you and fussing over you and you don't know who the heck they are. So
right.
Enjoy this one. And is Diesel going to be part of the celebration?
Yeah, I might put him a little, what is that, little cone things on that says happy birthday on it.
How is the Diesel is Teddy's black lab? How is Diesel going to feel about having a little hat on?
I'm not sure. I'm sure he'll be trying to get it off.
Are you going to bring him into school to meet Pumpkin the cat, who really runs the place?
I might attempt to if I'm allowed to see how that would go. Because I wouldn't mind putting him around a cat to see how he would, react around other animals. But we don't have any other animals besides him, and he's never been around any other pets. So yeah, I might try to experience that.
Is Pumpkin 16? She seemed pretty mellow.
Yeah, she's always, doing the meow thing, though. She seems to be staying hungry a lot. I don't know why she gets fed all the time.
All right. Well, Teddy, thank you so much for talking to us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.